Okay, so I kind of want to do a little video now to try and get people talking in the comment section because I do love a bit of banter in the comment section. I like to hear your stories and hear things you want to say about certain things that I talk about. And this is quite a strange one. This is a video I'm going to do about weird stuff that's happened to me while I've been in a movie theatre or a cinema. And I've been going to cinema since I was a young kid. I started off going to cinema mostly in my teens because where I used to live, there wasn't a cinema super close to me. I had to go to like Sidcup or Woolwich to go to the cinema. And eventually they built one in Bexley Heath for Cineworld, and I started going there more regularly. So that's where I really started doing the cinema goer sort of thing. But even so, I've had some really weird experiences. So I kind of want to talk about a few of them. And then, like, you guys in the comments can chime in on some things that have happened to you. I can hear your strange stories from the cinema. Now, mostly weird things that happen in cinema, mainly about people eating loudly popcorn, or maybe like phones randomly going off. It's not, or people doing things in the back seat, maybe. But it's not about that I want to talk about. I want to talk about unique things that you've never seen happen before, and it happens. You're like, what is going on? So well, the first one I'll talk about is the time I went to see Bride of Chucky. The film had just come out, and I was supposed to be in a sixth form. I was in the sixth form at the time, which is like a part of the school in the UK. And me and my friend Dean decided, like, to hell with it today, let's go and watch Bride of Chucky before everyone else does, because it was like the first day it come out, and we thought we'd go to cinema. And this back when cinemas used to start up early. So they used to start like the first shows like 10, 11 o'clock. So we just went to cinema on this. I think it was like a Friday or whatever. So we go to the cinema, we go in, pay our ticket money, we go sit down, and we're the only ones in there. It's just me and him, and it's the weirdest experience because we were like, because that was back when cinemas. Remember when cinemas used to be really busy? You used to turn up to go watch a film, and sometimes you had to get like turned away or turned to the next showing because the one you turned up for is full or fully booked. So we were like, oh, so we were like, this is great. It's like VIP. We've got our own private screening. We kept switching seats just because we could, you know. And then like we sat there, and suddenly someone walked in. We're like, who's that? And this was about half an hour into the movie, and it was the guy on his break from the cinema who was coming here to eat his lunch, and he went out again 15 minutes later, and we had the film again to ourselves. And we were like, this is the best film experience ever. Just us in the cinema. We felt like kings that day. So another funny one I'll talk about is I went to see the movie Payback starring Mel Gibson. And this is a very underrated, it's actually quite a decent fun film. It's like a comedy action-y sort of film. Um, and there was a specific scene in that film where Mel Gibson's trying to escape from the bad guys. He's kind of led them to a house where he knows, there's a setup to this earlier in the movie, there's a bomb attached to a phone. And when he rings the number, the bomb's going to go bang and everyone in the house is going to die, it's going to blow up. And he knows this, and he's been held captive in the car. They've gone into the house, they're trying to find money that he's hidden. If I remember, it's a long time I saw this film, a long time ago I saw this film. And there's like money hidden in the house. So they going up the stairs into the house. He's then makes to escape from his like bonds that he had on, grabs hold of a mobile phone, starts dialing a number. And then, of course, rings it. Spoilers for the film. House goes boom, baddies die, and he manages to escape. Now, at this point, as Mel Gibson's trying to escape, and he sort of gets out and he goes to reach for the phone, someone in the audience, probably explaining something to his wife, said this in the loudest voice possible. He went, the reason he's doing that is because there's a bomb in the house, and when he dials on the number, the bomb's going to blow up and it's going to kill them all. And literally, he said it so loudly. It's like normally you talk to your wife in the cinema, you go, that's because of that happening there. But he didn't. He was, and that's what's going to happen. And literally, the entire audience groaned like, ugh, at the exact time he said it. And I was just like, that poor man must have melted into his seat from embarrassment. I don't know why he said it so loudly, but it's a strange thing to happen. Another funny one. So this is a situation that happened. So I went to Greenwich Cinema. It was like an old cinema in Greenwich. And we were going to watch Lord of the Rings. I think it was the Two Towers. My memory's going a bit because I'm getting older now. But I think it was the Two Towers. I went with my ex, her sister, and her sister's boyfriend. And we turned up to Lord of the Rings. And we booked our tickets online. I never do that. But like the people I was with, they booked tickets online. We showed up and the cinema bloke says like, oh, sorry, sadly, one of the screens has gone down. So we just put everyone from this screening. Because we had like, it was showing like 4 or 5 screens at the same time. We put everyone from this screen and this screen into the same screen. So we've done like a go anywhere bit. So just go in there, find a seat and sit down. So we go into the cinema and literally, they obviously hadn't counted how many tickets they'd sold that day because they literally filled the entire screen up. And like people just looking, wondering where to sit and trying to find, like, you find one seat over there. So no one was sitting with their friends anymore. Like, see a seat over there, sort of thing. And I was like, oh, sod this. And the film was about to start, and the usher's trying to point. I just went, can I just sit here on the stairs? It was the sort of steps that kind of long steps and drop down and long step and step down. So can I just sit on the stairs and watch the film? And the bloke was like, oh, I was like, just I'll sit here, and if it's a problem, come move me in a bit, or find me a seat. I'm just going to sit here and watch this film. So I literally sat on the stairs and watched the entire Lord of the Rings. I think it was the Two Towers, all the way through. And I'm so happy it was a good film because I enjoyed it. And I kind of found a position where I could sort of lay down. I had my jumper like that, and I was kind of laying down on the steps watching the film. Quite relaxing, actually. But it's a strange situation, the fact that they decided that's what they were going to do, shove everyone into the same screen and just hope for the best. But that was the Greenwich Cinema. Not the Blue Wall one, but like the proper Greenwich Cinema, the fancy one, you know. Another funny situation. Like, I love going to watch films. And it doesn't tend. I've never walked out of a movie, except there was one. We'll talk about it in a minute. I've never actually walked out of a movie up until this point, but that wasn't due to me. It was due to something else. So when I got ticket, I was desperate to see the movie Halloween H2O when that came out, because I love the horror films. I like the Halloween movies, so I really want to see Halloween H2O. And the only tickets available for the last showing on the day that I could go were front row. And I swear they'd added an extra front row, because like the screen, the screen's here, and I think I was sitting like here. So you already know I was like this at the screen the entire movie. Now this movie's not, it's about an hour and a half long, might be a bit less than an hour and a half. But I sat there the whole time like this, watching that film. And the person I was there with was like I can't do this, I've got to go. And he said, if you really want to say, I'll meet you outside. I was like, yeah, just go, I'll be fine. And I sat like this for the entire movie, like straight. I had so close, I had to turn my head to watch what was going on in the film, because I couldn't watch it in one single like frame like you can here. I had to literally physically look side to side to see the rest of the frame. That's how close I was, but I still sat through it. And when I come out there, it was that sort of thing where the film finished, I was like, oh, my neck. That's how dedicated I am to watching movies. I've got a list of stuff that happened down there, so I'll keep looking down here. This is another strange one with someone else in the cinema, another audience member. I went to see Life of Pi. Now I'm gonna lie, everyone said that film was brilliant, and I didn't enjoy that film at all. To be honest with you, I thought it was a bit. Well, I got it, but I kind of thought I didn't enjoy it, if you know what I mean. It wasn't a film for me. I wasn't blown away by like everyone else seemed to be. So anyway, I'm sitting in the cinema. Cinema's quite busy, sort of a mediocre screening, so quite a few seats are filled. And we're all sitting there, and there's a guy that I kind of, when someone's moving around a lot, you kind of see it at the corner of your eye. I noticed he kept moving around a lot, and he kept sort of like looking down. He was like this, and he was looking like this, and he's watching the film, and I was just he was just there, sort of like, to my vision, just down a little bit to there. And it was kind of becoming annoying that he was moving around so much. And I wasn't enjoying the film anyway, so I was kind of switching off from the film a little bit. And suddenly he just stood up and loudly said in the cinema, for F words, for F's sake, he went, I'm in the wrong film. And he just got up, and instead of like doing quietly, he with his bag and his coat, and he stormed out, he's mumbling, just walked out of the cinema. But he did it so that the whole cinema noticed it, and it was like, why would you do that? Because like, if I'd sat down in the cinema and I'd been sitting there for quite some time, and then I noticed that I was watching the wrong movie, I'd be like, oh, embarrassed, like, sorry, just walked out quietly. I wouldn't have gone, for God's sake, I'm watching the wrong movie, and then stormed out like that. And what was he? Because the only other film I remember being at exactly the same time is Impossible, the one starring Mel Gibson and a very young Tom Holland, about the tsunami that hit Thailand. So was he supposed to be watching that movie? And he sat there for his Life of Pi thing, well, there's water in it, so I must be in the right one. He kind of looks, I know he was Indian, but maybe the guy was like, he looks kind of maybe Thailandish. I'll keep watching it. Surely in a minute, Ewan McGregor's going to pop up. And he sat there for half an hour going like, what the hell is Ewan McGregor? And why is there a tiger in a boat? And then he suddenly realised, it's always made me laugh, because I was like, that was the best bit of Life of Pi for me, was watching this guy do that. But I was like, what a strange reaction to have. Okay, so this is an interesting one, right? So I said I've never walked out of a movie before. This is the only film I actually physically leave. So I took my daughter to see Iron Man 3, and she was only young at the time. And I don't know what happened, but something to do with the sound, because the sound was right up, like loud, loud, as in like it's actually feeling my ears were starting to hurt, and And she was like, "Dad, I have to go. Like, my ears are hurting too much. They're really hurting." Like, and I tried to cover her ears up at one point, and in the end, she's like, "No." And we had to get up and leave, and we left cinema. I said to him, "Look, it's really loud in there. I don't know if there's been any more complaints, but like, she's got to go. She's not feeling great now. It's actually made her feel a bit ill because it was so loud." And the guy apologised, gave us tickets for another time to go and see something and that. But I don't. Have you ever experienced that? Have you ever had the cinema so loud it's almost unbearably loud? That was just a weird. I don't know if they done something wrong. I mean, as far as I'm aware, until I walked out, I was the only one who got up and left during it. But I know it was weird because I've bad hearing anyway, so it was weird that I could hear it as well. It was kind of uncomfortable. Another funny one, we went to see the Jaws only this year, only in the summer. They did the 50th anniversary of Jaws. They showed it, and in the cinema I went to, something had gone wrong at some point with however they put it on the screens now. I don't think it's film anymore, but it's however they put it on the screens now, because it was all like neon colours, like neon pinks and neon greens. It was like, what is going on here? And I actually went out and said to the guy, like, there's something wrong with the screen there, because like I've watched that film 1,000 times. It's never been neon pink before. He then come in, and then you could see him like looking at the screen, and on the walk talking to someone else, like, no, it's not working yet. And then suddenly it's come back on normal. I restarted the film again and showed it again. So it was like, okay, that's fixed that problem. But still a strange thing to happen, that the actual film itself goes the wrong colour. Another time, this is going back years now, I went to Woolwich to go and watch Batman and Robin, the George Clooney Batman film, that's famously for not liked, but now it's become like a cult thing where it's so bad it's good sort of thing. Well, I got halfway through that movie and the film snapped. It was the weirdest thing. As the screen just went like that, and it was like, what? And then the guy come in about 5 minutes later, it was just blackness. And the guy come and said, "Look, really, really sorry. We can't show this film anymore. It's actually snapped. It's the only copy we've got of the movie. So I'm really sorry. I have to give you your money back and all that sort of stuff." So they gave us my money back. But this is when I was a kid. I remember thinking, oh, because I was kind of excited for this film, because I had just finished reading the Dark, what is it, Nightfall and Night Quest, the Bane storyline. I knew Bane was going to be in this movie, so I was kind of excited to see it. If you've seen the movie, you understand why I was very let down. But it was still, I was kind of, I was so disappointed, because I got to, I think, Uma Thurman, I don't think she even turned into Poison Ivy at this point when it actually snapped. I think she was about to. I think she was about to become Poison Ivy. So I was just like, oh my gosh, like, that was a strange one. Right, another thing I want to sort of talk about with cinema, just on a general note, do you always find them really cold? Like the aircon is like massively up to the point where sometimes it kind of makes you need to go to the toilet because you're so cold. Is that a planned thing? So you have to come back and watch the film again another time. So this is something I've really noticed a lot, like for years now, that it's always bloody cold in there. Now I understand that when you're in a room full of people, the body temperatures of everyone will raise the temperature in the room. So like whenever you go somewhere and you're sort of like in a closed off area and there's a lot of people in there, you'll start to feel warmer because everyone's body temperatures are all mixing together. So I'm guessing that's why they blow the aircon in the cinema. However, cinemas now, you don't get that many people in. It's not like back in the day when every show you went to, there's a full house. Now, I don't think I've seen a full house in a cinema for a long time. I think half is pushing it now whenever I go to the cinema. The screen's been half full. So I don't think it needs to be on that much. But I don't know if they do it for a reason. Do they have to do it? I don't know. But it always feels really cold. I know it's not really saying, it's just saying I've always wondered about. It's just saying that plays on mind. I don't think anyone's experienced it as well. Am I just like a chilly mortal, as my nan used to say? Am I just a cold person? But I always feel cold in the cinema. I always sometimes, if I never wear shorts to go to the cinema, because I know I'm going to feel cold and the cold's going to get on my legs. I'm going to suddenly need to wee a lot and I'm just going to keep leaving just because I'm feeling cold. Just wanted to randomly throw that in there as another talking point. So please put that in the comments if you've experienced that as well. Now we're going to get onto some meaty things that have happened. These are actual experiences. So I went to see Paranormal Activity, the ghost movie, sort of found, it's not really found footage, it's kind of like security camera footage ghost movie. Launched a franchise of films. I went to see the first one the day of release. Me and my friend Tom, we were like, we've got to go see this film. Everyone's like, the trailers were on. No one really knew much about it. We just knew it was a scary film and we'd seen the trailers. So off me and my friend Tom went to the cinema, and this cinema was packed out. It's a smaller screen than like, no, you get the big screen. This was like a medium sort of, like smallish sort of size cinema screen, but that was packed. Everyone was in there because I said it was opening night, and we're all sitting in there. and we're watching this film, and I don't know if it was just my cinema or if it's something they did for all the cinemas, but just before something weird happened in that movie, something like spooky would happen, like when it got to night time, there's a certain time at night when all sort of kind of going a bit crazy, isn't it? There'll be like a rumble, but the reverberation, you'd feel it's just like it's rumbling in your chest. It was like the way the sort of music was done, so like, brrr, and you'd feel it in here, and your whole diaphragm would be shaking, and it put you right on edge. And the whole cinema was kind of feeling it. My friend Tom was like, "Are you feeling it?" I was like, "Yeah." It's like a thing. And we're all sitting there watching the film, and of course, the film sort of escalates into scariness as it goes on. And it's the only time I've ever experienced this, but there's like a group hysteria happening in the audience where everyone's fear seems to be building at the same time. I think this rumble effect was helping build that. So the whole audience is starting to get more and more tense, and every time a scare happens, it's like bigger, and the screams are louder, and everyone's like, like that. By the end of the movie, when the end, again, spoilers for the film, when the end happens, and you've got the guy that gets killed, and then she comes into the room, and she just stands there, and she suddenly rushes at the camera. Collectively, the entire audience was literally, from the moment the guy's about to get killed, screaming, like continuously screaming, for a long time, until she goes into the camera, and then it's and everyone, the whole audience screamed in this collective, like, terrified outburst. And I said it's the only thing I could describe as group hysteria, because the entire room was like getting like worked up. And when we all left, we were like exhausted. And me and my friend talked about it the whole way home, about like how insane that movie was. Now, obviously, I've watched this film back again on DVD in the past. It never had that effect on me again. So I don't know if it was the room, the fact it's the first time watch, or if it was that reverberation feeling I was getting from the cinema that caused this to happen, because I've never experienced this in any other film since. And I've seen all kinds of films, even sort of like Blair Witch and that. It never happened in that. It was just this paranormal activity, opening night, moment of madness for the entire cinema. And I've never experienced that, and I don't think I ever will again. It was the most bizarre experience in the cinema I've ever had. Now, we're going to end this one on I think it's a funny situation. So I went to see Freddy vs. Jason. And now, I know a lot of people don't like the film, but I happen to adore that film. I think that film is everything it should have been. It's just a silly little horror film with the two franchises, and it's just, I like Freddy vs. Jason. But the people, so I went to see Freddy vs. Jason with, I can't remember, I think it was my friends or something, I don't remember. But there was a group of people in front of us, and there was a group of from the black community, like British African type people, and they were all right. They were nice enough people and that, and they were sitting in the thing. There was like girls and boys there, but they were quite very loud. They were quite loud. They were like, oh, every time something happened, they was like, oh my god, like that. And they were quite in the street, like kids sort of thing. So they're quite like funny in the stuff they were saying, and we were kind of in the. I mean, this is London, so that's what you're gonna get. So, but they were quite loud, and every time something scary happened, it was like, whoa, they were like really over the top. Especially the girls, they were really over the top as well. And then the scene happened in the movie. And the second it happened, I actually looked over to them to see their reaction, and they were the best thing to happen in this movie. I love these people because they sat there, and there's a scene when Freddy's on the killing spree at the end, and he's going after sort of a final girl type. He's going after her, and then Kelly Rowland from Destiny's Child turns up behind him and starts having a go at him, trying to save her friend. And she's like, well, come on in, Freddy. She's really giving all the thing. And I could already see the girls like being like backing Kelly Rowland. They were like, come on. And even the guys like, yeah. Like really sort of enjoying the fact that there's this like black woman there, and she's standing up to Freddy Krueger, and she's got a thing here. And Freddy's kind of looking to Kelly Rowland. He looks back at the other girl, looks at Kelly Rowland, and then goes, oh, dark meat. And with that, this group erupted. They were like, oh my god, oh, I can't believe he said that. I don't know why they're American. They weren't American. I don't know why they did American accent, but she was like, whoa, do, and they were like, racism, oh, he's trying to get, and they went like mental about it. And I was so busy watching them and their reaction and enjoying their reaction, I didn't notice Kelly Rowland just got killed on screen. She gets like thrown into a tree by Freddy and killed. And I was just like, that was the funniest thing, because the way they were reacting throughout the film to certain things, I was kind of like, they're obviously big fans of like Destiny's Child, Kelly Rowland and that, and maybe there's like an ethnicity thing there as well, because this film, like all these horror films, are predominantly white people in most of them, and to have like someone that probably someone they could think, oh look, that's to represent us, and then the line he used of like dark meat was just to set them off, and they enjoyed it. They were laughing about it as well, and that, and they were having a great time. They came out to cinema and they were smiling away, and they literally made that Freddy versus Jason screening for me. I actually went back to see it again a couple of days later with another group of friends, and I still enjoyed the movie. And it got to that bit, and all I could think about was that group of people and how much I missed them not being there. It was such a moment, but it was so much fun, and that's just one I want to end on, because it was just a fun, enjoyable experience, but something really weird that happened. So now it's open to you guys. I want to hear your stories. Tell me something that has out of the ordinary happened to you in a cinema. I'm just checking my little notes to make sure I've got everything on there that I wanted to talk about. Yes, I have. How good am I? So anyway, yeah. So thank you very much for watching. Again, George, tell me your funny stories. Again, I don't like if it's like, oh, there's some dudes doing something naughty in the back row or something like that. That doesn't matter. But if it's something really unique that's very different, maybe like fireworks went off in the cinema or so, just something like nutty like that, or maybe like someone farted. I don't know. But anyway, guys, let me know your stories. Let's have a laugh in the comments and enjoy yourself the rest of the day. Bye.